There's two kind of propositions. There's two markets that we address. The first market is the consumer market, and what we try to do for the consumer is to aggregate as much content, financial content for them, to make the research of a particular financial product, whether it's a mortgage or whether it's car insurance, to make it as easy as possible for them to find the best value product for them. The other market that we address is the businesses, the lenders or the insurance companies that advertise on our website. And to them, essentially, the value proposition is that we will find qualified customers that will be interested in their product. I think it's important in any business, if you understand what you're going to do before you start doing it, then you can save yourself quite a lot of time. So from my perspective, that research was invaluable to understand how the business was going to work, what the business model was going to be, how we were going to structure it, what kind of marketing we needed to do. So everything was pretty much documented and understood prior to the start of the business. We have the indirect approach that we've just discussed, where we put our content on partner websites, and some of those partner websites have huge volumes of traffic. In addition to that, we have our own direct marketing, paid search, natural search, email activity, affiliate activity, and we have done some brand activity. So it's a combination. What we try and do is to diversify our marketing as much as we can to kind of hit consumers from a number of different angles. White label is essentially us putting our content under the brand of a partner. So if you were to go to, for example, MSN's website and go to their insurance section, all of that content, which provides price comparison for car insurance and home insurance and travel insurance, is our content delivered under their brand. The reason why we adopted white label as a primary marketing channel is that those kinds of websites like MSN or ITV have a very, very large volume of visitors to those websites, and those visitors may be interested in financial products. That gives our partner a relatively cheap form of income where they don't incur any marketing costs to generate revenue. So we monetize the existing traffic that they have. We've split the market broadly into three big media companies that have high volume of traffic to their sites, insurance companies, and the third category is a bit of a catch-all, which is every other big high volume website. And the reason why we're choosing websites which have got a large number of visitors is that if you have a large volume of visitors coming to your website, you can effectively then market to those visitors. So there's no marketing cost that the partner incurs to then generate quite a significant revenue from that. If we're looking at the product provider clients, it's a reasonably straightforward proposition to them. If we go to a mortgage lender and essentially tell them that we can introduce business to them pretty cost effectively and more cost effectively than their other marketing channels, then, as I say, it's a reasonably straightforward pitch to them. In terms of the white label partners, the partners that we put our content onto their site, that's a slightly more complex and involved pitch. And essentially, it's really about delivering value to them and delivering value as effectively and as efficiently as we can. And we're reasonably fortunate it's not so much fortunate really because it's been born out of a lot of hard work, that our white label proposition is considerably better than any of our competitors. Cash flow has been reasonably challenging because, as you say, if you grow that quickly, then often you incur the cost before you get the revenues. But just some pretty effective control around creditors and effective control around debtors, and just managing it through that. We've been reasonably fortunate that HSBC have been quite flexible in terms of our banking facility. So if we've needed to go overdrawn to manage cash flow, we can do that. Beyond that, just making sure that the business that we write is all profitable business. To some extent, it has been good. We have a huge volume of visitors coming to the site to always ensure that they get the best value product for their purposes. So in that respect, it's been good. People will use the comparison site more. What's been quite challenging, really, has been the credit products on our site. So mortgages, loans, credit cards. Because of the credit crunch and the lack of supply of financial products, of credit products rather, it's been challenging insofar as the revenues that we generate by selling the introductions to lenders have dropped quite significantly. And that's because the data doesn't convert as well as it did this time last year. So we get more visitors wanting to do comparison, but at the same time, the revenues from the credit products have reduced. One of the problems that we have with the recession is that the company valuations have declined significantly. So I guess an exit plan, whilst it's still on the cards, it's not a really short-term thing. It would be extremely unlikely that we would sell the business in the next 12, 18 months. So we're looking at, my guess is that we're looking at least 2 years out. But we're still enjoying it, still fun. We're not kind of bored quite yet. So whilst the business is making money and whilst we're still enjoying it, then I don't think there'll be any desire amongst the directors to sell it.